One of the things I really like about the new TVS Ronin is just the way it starts. Press the button. No drama, no vibration. The feeling I'm left with after riding it is that I want to ride it more. So it's been raining for more than 14 hours straight here in Goa, and it's not showing any signs of letting up. And normally this is not the kind of weather in which you want to go out and ride and shoot in. The riding part is always fun, but shooting becomes a huge challenge. But we're going to do it anyway today, because today we get to ride the TVS Ronin for the first time. I think the weather gods were listening when we were shooting the intro to this video, because we have got a respite, and just in time. This here is the all-new TVS Ronin 225, and immediately, straight off the bat, you know that this is something very different from anything that we've seen from TVS before. This marks their entry into this modern classic, modern retro, more lifestyle category, and I'm certain by now you've seen a bunch of videos about the tech specs on this motorcycle and the fact that it has upside down forks and what size wheels and engine capacity and all of that stuff. That's not what we are here for. I am just here to ride this motorcycle and see what it feels like and share my first ride impressions with you.
I think this setting, bringing us to Goa to do this was a genius idea, because these are lazy roads, you know, small roads, lazy atmosphere, easy cruising, and it's a really chill way of life. And on this motorcycle, it sort of sinks in very well, because obviously it's a 225. There will be people who would want it to be more powerful, especially if you're going to do a lot of time on the highway. But the interesting thing about this bike is that the gearing is done in a way that you don't really need to change gears. In fourth gear, you can drop down to 25, maybe even 20, and just get on the throttle and start going again, and like all the way up to 95, 100 in that same gear. That's something that I haven't seen on any other motorcycle before. So it has some low-end torque, but the gears, once you've sort of picked up your momentum and you've gone up the gears, you can literally ride it like a scooter, like almost like an automatic, just because you have so much range in the kind of speeds that you can do within the same gear itself. At most you want to come down to third, unlike most of the other motorcycles, including the 200cc that I ride, where you're constantly like running through the gears often. This is good in the city, obviously, and on a longer ride, again, it's convenient, especially riding like twisty roads and stuff like that. You don't need to be on the gears all the time. In fact, just out of habit, I kept changing gears, and I had to remind myself that I don't need to change those gears. The rain is coming down, and see, all that respite we had was really, really temporary. It's been very wet since then. I managed to ride the motorcycle quite a bit, but obviously we couldn't shoot too much because of the rain. I'm gonna have to head back to where we started, try to find some shelter so that I can tell you what I feel about this motorcycle. Spoiler alert, it is really, really nice, and I think a lot of people are gonna like it. I'll tell you why in just a few moments. Need to get home safely first.
an interesting universe we live in, no? The camera person and the camera have an umbrella over them, and I'm here exposed to the elements. Okay, back home, safe, somewhat dry. A really fun day of riding. I've spent about 3 to 4 hours with the TVS Ronin, and I'm ready to give you my first impressions, right? Definitely off the bat, it's lived up to the expectations that I had of a new TVS motorcycle. Very comfortable to ride, very well planted, very easy to maneuver, surprisingly easy to maneuver in fact for a motorcycle like this. There were times when it took me by surprise, you know, I'd expected to react a bit slower, but it reacted really quickly. The turning radius is a bit large, but it's a very light motorcycle. I think it's about 160 kgs. So it's light and it's low. So it's still easy to deal with. The suspension, those upside down forks and the monoshock, brilliant. In fact, through most of my riding today, I had a pillion with me. Vinay, who's behind the camera, was riding with me so that we could create better footage for all of you to see. And in terms of power, it was great. In terms of riding the bike, I didn't really feel that pillion weight. It didn't make such a huge difference. And it was also still really comfortable with that additional 70, maybe more than 70 kilos. I don't know how much he weighs. We will not talk about it. But with a pillion, riding it, it was surprisingly comfortable and easy to ride, these are all like really good things in my book, because I ride a 200cc motorcycle. Those of you who've been here watching the channel for a while know it. Compared to that, this engine, this suspension, this setup, very different types of motorcycles, but you can see and feel the refinement here. This is truly something premium in terms of the features that you're getting. I think the motorcycle starts at about 1.5 lakhs and goes up to 1.68 lakhs, if I'm not mistaken, ex-showroom. It's a 225cc, so you're not getting something huge in terms of power, but you're definitely getting a lot of premium features and a more premium package over here. That was something that I felt when I rode the motorcycle. If you're someone who's been watching these videos about the TVS Ronin and you're curious about it, I would say just go ride it. Because with this motorcycle, I mean, opinions might be divided about the way it looks, but you have to ride it. You have to experience that gearing. You have to just experience how smooth this motorcycle is. I think people will really enjoy using it in the city even, just because of the way it's configured, and some amount of touring. High-speed highway touring is going to be a challenge with a 225. Several of us like to ride motorcycles that give us better cruising speeds. But for me, this is a sign of things to come. I've been waiting for TVS to get past that, race-bred motorcycles. They're really good motorcycles, but they didn't really work for someone like me. And this is a sign of things to come, right? This move. They've done a really good job with the first motorcycle that they've created outside of their familiar segments. And to me, this is an indication that there will be more to come. This is a motorcycle that's going to make a lot of people happy. But I'm also hoping that this means that there will be a lot more interesting motorcycles that come from TVS in these segments. And we, as motorcyclists, as touring enthusiasts and travel lovers, will have reliable, refined and premium motorcycles to ride.
What do you think of the suspension?
I approve it.
I can't hear you.
I approve it. It's really good. It's damn nice.
Without the da.
It's really good.
Okay, so what do you think of the suspension?
It's really good. Oh, without the da. Wait.
What do you think of the suspension?
It's damn nice. I absolutely approve sitting on this bike as a pillion.